Hey guys, it's me. Today I was looking at the clock earlier, not the clock, the date, and I realized that it's been just about 1 year since I've had my experience with K2 and what brought me into my depersonalization, and so I decided that I would share the story with you on how that came to happen. Um, so here it goes. About 1 year ago, or no, more than a year ago, I'd say about March or April 2011, I was working at Aaron's Sales and Lease, which is a store that leases out furniture, appliances, or video game systems, and whatever. And I was a delivery guy with my dad. We worked at the same store, the same hours, whatever. We worked as a team basically. And so, oops. And so that's when I was bringing in a lot of money, and that's when I had a lot to spend, and I was buying TVs, and I was buying Xbox and Xbox games, and that's when I started drinking Monster energy drinks, and I really indulged in that too much, and I was drinking about 2 4 packs. I would do it in one night, but I would only do it once a week. But that's still a lot at one time. And eventually, I left that job, and one night I was sitting at the computer, and I felt a big jump in my chest, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And it sent me into what I now know as a panic attack. I thought I was having a heart attack. I texted Sarah. I said, "Take me to the hospital." I ran outside. I could swear that my heart was like stopping and then going again, like it was skipping beats or something. But it was just a panic attack, and my throat was dry, my heart was racing, I felt weak, I felt dizzy, I felt really thirsty, and all that good stuff. So I went to the hospital, and they quickly diagnosed it as a panic attack due to all the caffeine and intake that I got from Monster and all the other ingredients that affected me that way. And basically, from then on, I would have many panic attacks or mild panic attacks every day. Every day I would freak out, have a panic attack. I felt like I needed to get out of the house and take my mind off of it. Well, this continued until about December 2011. I figured I had had enough of this. I just wanted a night to relax. And Sarah said, try some of this K2, which is a synthetic marijuana product. It's supposed to have the same effects as marijuana, but it's legalized. So I kind of felt better about that. But what she never told me, and I never researched it, which I regret now. You're only supposed to, your first time, you're only supposed to have like 1 or 2 hits. They call it a one-hit quit. I had 7 or 8, and I figured I would just stop and let the effects hit me, because this is exactly what I do with alcohol. I drink until I feel it, and then it completely fucks me up. So I'm sitting there. I was wondering when everything was gonna kick in, and then it happens. I started felt floaty at first, and then I felt like when you smoke a regular pot, like you get a laughing kind of feeling, like you feel like everything is funny. Well, this was basically like that, but it was like 10 times more intense. Not good either. Like it feels like it's forcing you to laugh against your will, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I was flailing my arms around like an idiot and just laughing uncontrollably. And I started rolling around on the bed. And then I called out to Sarah. I said, "This doesn't feel like real life." And then at that instant, it just hit me, my brain, and it started to freak out. Like, I felt like I was dying, basically. I didn't feel like I was in reality anymore. I thought I had left this planet. I did not feel like I was here at all. And so, in my still halfway conscious mind, I called out to Sarah. I said, "You should probably call an ambulance, because I don't think this is right." Okay? And something that I'd never experienced prior to this day is I felt like a lag was going on. I felt like I would like touch something like that. I would see myself touch it, but I wouldn't feel it for about a couple seconds. It's like I would touch it, and then I would feel me touching it. And at one instance, she gave me a hug. Okay, I could see her hugging me, but I couldn't feel it for a couple seconds. It's like I was on a lag in a game. Okay, and it was just completely freaking me out. I ended up getting downstairs. But keep in mind, this is late December in Iowa. It gets pretty cold here. I was in shorts or pants. It wasn't jeans, but it was at least the pants I'm wearing now, I think. Um, but no socks, no shoes, a t-shirt, and my monster hat, I think, must have been. And I walk outside, the ambulance is sitting outside, and it feels like I'm walking on clouds. I could not feel any cold. I could not feel any rocks or twigs, branches I was stepping on. Nothing. It felt like I was walking on clouds the whole time. And so that was freaking me out too. Well, it wasn't really freaking me out since I couldn't feel anything. But I hopped up into the ambulance, and when I got into the ambulance, they told me to sit down at this little table that was on the inside of the ambulance, and they hooked me up to a to get my pulse, and I swear it was the weirdest fucking thing ever. I couldn't read numbers right. They had me hooked up, and I was looking at the numbers. I'm like, 120. That's not too bad, is it? And then the EMT, he's like, no, that's 195. I was like, holy shit. And normally I would be freaking out right now, but my mind was just completely so far gone. I was just like, oh shit. Like I knew it was bad, but I didn't freak out or anything. But after that, they laid me down on the I wouldn't say it's like a gurney, or it's like a stretcher or whatever you want to call it. They laid me down, and that's kind of when shit got really weird. I felt this strange sensation in my throat. It felt like air was being pumped down my esophagus, and every time I swallowed, it felt like it was just being pushed by air. It was fucking weird, I swear. And I was looking up at the EMT guys. Everything felt so slow. They said I was hyperventilating really bad, which to me, the way that I was seeing time, it felt like I was breathing normal, like I was just breathing normal, breathing deeply, everything normal, and I wasn't. I was hyperventilating so bad. Um, they they were like moving slow too. It felt like time was in a weird fucking constraint. Like everything was moving so slow, but it felt like I was talking at normal speed. And I could kind of feel a pinch of my skin as they were sticking the needle in my arm. I found out later that they had to put medications in me to slow my heart rate down, or else I would have a heart attack and die. Um, and at the hospital later, they gave me 2 big potassium pills, like that big. And that's when the strangest part of my life happened. I was staring up, laying back, and I was staring up at the lights on the ceiling of the ambulance. I stopped being able to move. I stopped being able to move my eyes back and forth. I couldn't feel pain. I couldn't hear anything. And eventually everything just started to fade into the brightest white light that I have ever seen. But I didn't feel like I had to squint. And before that completely faded out, I saw them shining a light in my eyes, really bright light. I knew it was a bright light, but I didn't have to squint at all. I could hear them talking to me, or I couldn't hear them. I could see them like talking at me, but I was just out of it. I was just staring up. Everything turned all white, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, that's it. I'm done for. I was picturing myself being on the news, local boy dies, or whatever, Cedar Rapids. And that's when I was completely out. And they said I stopped breathing. I hyperventilated so much that I stopped breathing and I whited out. But eventually, it came back to me, my sight, and I could move again. So I instantly sat up really quick, and my arms were blue, my legs were blue, or my feet, more or less. They looked blue. I looked at the EMT guy. He was standing by my feet. He said, "Welcome back." I was like, "Welcome back from what?" And that still gets me to this day. They never told me exactly what happened, but I got to the hospital still completely out of it, and I could sit up, but I couldn't walk. I was still kind of in a really bad daze, and they had to pick me up out of the bed using the sheets and pick me up and put me on the emergency room bed, and that's where I sat for about 3.5 hours. And Sarah was crying. I said, "Why are you crying?" And she said, "I didn't want to see you like this." And I kept looking at the heart monitor to see how fast my heart was going, because that's the what's it called, hypochondriac in me. I became a hypochondriac too for my heart, like I said before in a previous video. But yeah, got out of the hospital, still completely in a daze. They told me to go to sleep when I got home because of the medications. And well, first we stopped at McDonald's and I got 2 McGriddles, and that's it. After that, I just, it's been like this, just not as bad. Sometimes when I film these videos, I do not feel like I'm talking at all, and that's why my mind sometimes wanders, and it gives me a kind of a memory loss. Sometimes I forget if I've said anything, but it's slowly coming back, and it has been for a while. I'm just trying to find the right technique to get rid of all of this stuff. And yeah, I figured I'd share that story with you guys. I would never recommend smoking K2 to anybody. I really wish they would ban it for good, because that's what it needs to be. It needs to be taken out of this fucking planet. I think it's a lot worse for you than cocaine, considering what it does, even though cocaine does some bad shit too, I heard. But anyway, that's my story. Don't smoke K2. If you do it now, just stop. It's gonna kill you. I did it once and it almost killed me, and I'm a pretty strong guy. Go smoke pot. Even some of the police officers here said that they would prefer marijuana being legalized than any other drug over K2. Yeah, they said they'd rather just have it because it's better for you anyway. I don't smoke anymore. I don't drink no more. Nothing. I'm clean besides caffeine, but I can't help that. Well, I can. I just choose not to. But yeah, that's my story. I really hope you enjoyed it. My time is running out, so, and I know I said I would film in that spot downstairs, but I just wanted to get the story out while it was still fresh in my head. This is me 1 year later, still depersonalized, getting better, and I hope it continues. Hope it continues to get better. Getting this camera really helps. But that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you for being patient and watching this video, even if you didn't make it through all the way. Just hearing somebody else's story, it can be really helpful to some people. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and I will talk to you later.